tell me, do you?
Children, you never played better.
Oh, my dear, we're very proud of you.
Splendid. Being the treasurer of the school, perhaps I'm a little biased, but as I watched Katharine, Miss Hilliard, conducting, at times I could see standing there her late and lamented father, my revered teacher, Dr. Phineas Hilliard.
You're not a bit biased, Mr. Wainwright. That thought has often occurred to me and to the other board members. Katharine is the living image of her great father. A true Hilliard in the finest sense of the word.
Thank you, Mrs. Crackleton and Ralph. Oh, I mean Mr. Wainwright. I'm so glad you like the symphony. We hope to include it in our spring festival. That is, if our guest conductor will approve.
I suppose it's Dr. Polonsky again.
Oh, no, Ralph. I mean Mr. Wainwright and I have a surprise for you. We'll tell you all about it at the meeting, but we must hurry as I have a train to catch.
Well, I feel that there's one matter we should take up right away. The board is aware that, in deference to us, you two have a tendency to refrain from addressing each other by your first names. Now, I'm sure I speak for all when I say that you needn't stand on such formality with us. Let it be Katharine and Ralph.
Thank you, Mrs. Crackleton. It has been rather awkward for me, and I dare say for Katharine, too, particularly since...
Yes? Since what, Mr. Wainwright?
Well, we may as well tell you. After the spring festival, Ralph and I plan to be married.
Hayme, I'm so happy for you.
Congratulations.
Oh, it's exciting. I'm so happy for you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
But you didn't pull the wool over our eyes. We've known right along, and I can't tell you how happy it makes us. Together, you'll preserve the great traditions of the school and carry it forward to an even greater future.
That we pledge you.
And now if we'll adjourn to my office, Ralph and I will tell you our plans for the spring festival, and Ralph will read you his annual financial report.
Due to faithful and frugal management, and to your very generous endowments, of course, we greet the new term in a sound financial condition. With ample provision for our annual spring music festival,
And so, since you have approved my request to allow me expenses for a trip to New York, I am leaving this afternoon to consult with Mr. Herbert Benham, the distinguished composer and critic, who's to be our guest conductor.
And now,
Very talented.
as is our custom at this time of year, we wish to express our thanks and appreciation to Miss Katharine Hilliard, Jr. For the manner in which she has directed
We'd better start for the
and
station.
vigorously maintained the high
20
standards
minutes.
set by generations of Hayme.
I'll miss my train.
Now let us go back some 170 years.
My dear Mr. Higbee, I'm so sorry, but time and timetables won't wait, not even for a sixth-generation Hilliard. I can't tell you how much I appreciate what you're about to say, but until I see you the next time. Goodbye, Mrs. Crackleton.
Goodbye.
So nice to have your support, Mr. Dunphy. Professor and Mrs. Allen, what would I do without you? Goodbye, Miss Wayburn. Goodbye, Miss Crackleton.
Goodbye.
I beg your pardon.
Not at all.
You're not standing here in the vestibule.
I'm afraid I am.
Oh, that will never do. We've plenty of room in here.
Why, thank you.
Come on in. Here, let me take your bag. It's my Boy Scout training. Wolf Patrol. How's this?
This will do splendidly, thank you.
Hello?
No, thank you, I'm quite comfortable.
Good book?
Very. The influence of Bach on Wagner.
Oh, you like music?
Oh, intensely.
Get ready to pay off, Mr. Dillon. Well, how do you like it?
I'm sorry, but I don't.
You mean your heart isn't palpitating? You don't feel faint?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
$50, Mr. Clayton. Pay
No
me.
way, the bet's
Oh,
off.
no, you don't. You said it was surefire. You said the first time you played that tune for a female customer, she'd melt like a plate of butter in the oven.
I said the average woman would. That one isn't a fair test.
Why isn't she?
She isn't average.
She is, too. She's one of the most average-looking dames I ever saw.
No, she isn't. I'll prove it to you. Madam, when you walk down the street, do men ever go at you?
No, of course not.
There you are. What'd I tell you?
That don't prove nothing.
Sure it does. Why, the hottest number in the world couldn't warm up a dame like that. She's ice water, and the bet's off. Why, if a mosquito bit that gal, he'd get double pneumonia.
Bravo, Max, bravo.
Thank you, Doctor.
You were masterful, wasn't he, Katharine? Oh. That, my friend, is the acme of true appreciation. You've penetrated her unconscious and produced a sort of musical hypnosis. A rare achievement even for a great artist.
Of course, it could be she hasn't been listening.
That notwithstanding, you performed brilliantly.
Thank you very much. Good day, Doctor.
Good day, and thank you for coming
Bye.
to see me.
Thank you.
Bye. Well, Katharine?
Oh. Oh, it's over. He's gone. Oh, how perfectly terrible. Whatever did the poor man think?
That you weren't listening, and he was quite right. What's wrong, my dear?
I don't quite know, Herbert.
Look, Katharine, I have an idea. Why not phone Ralph and have him join you?
Oh, why should he?
So that the moonstruck mind may be restored to its body and we can go on with our work.
Oh, no. It's not Ralph I was thinking about.
Miss Hilliard?
It's another man. I met him on the train.
What?
Oh, no. It's not what you're thinking. Herbert, what's wrong with me?
You tell me, my dear.
Well, last night, for over an hour, I walked up and down in front of my hotel. Many men, all shapes, all sizes, all ages went by. But not one of them went at me.
Should they?
Could it be that he was right? Could that vulgar, raucous trumpet player be right? Am I ice water? Would I give a mosquito double pneumonia if he bit me?
Now, wait a minute, Katharine, wait a minute. Let me catch up to you. And please correct me if I should say anything sane. Evidently, you met a vulgar man on the train, a trumpet player, who insulted you by reflecting on your ability to bring out the call of the wild. Is that your tragic tale?
You think I'm silly, don't you?
No, perfectly normal. Vanity like murder will out. Your vanity was piqued and you rebelled against it.
It's an awful admission, but I must confess you're right.
Of course I am. In a varying degree, all women are vain, or should be. You remember the story of the blind man's wife who instinctively appreciated the value of vanity and painted her face? But some women have to learn it. And that, in a painful way, is what's happening to you. But if you'll forgive me, my dear, I must confess that your punishment is just for hiding those pretty eyes of yours behind those ugly lenses and wearing your hair in the best prairie schooner tradition and for bundling your figure in this tailor-made atrocity. Here, take off your glasses.
Take off my glasses?
Yes, come on, take them off. That's better. Now then, take down your hair. Come on, take down your hair. There's nothing like letting your hair down. I do it myself very often. How does this thing undo? Ah, that's better. I got it. Fine. Now, fluff the hair out like that. There. That's all the difference in the world. Go on, fluff it yourself. Fluff it out at the back. See? That's merely a faint idea of your latent possibilities. Not to exploit them is positively sinful. Oh, and one more thing, Katharine. You must titivate.
Huh?
An old English word. It's used by Thackeray and the Virginians, and I may add there's magic in it.
Titivate?
Yes, it means to spruce up and shine.
Pardon me, Mr. Benham. Miss Taylor wants to know where to meet you for lunch.
Oh, tell her the Swiss Pavilion in 15 minutes. You're welcome to join us if you wish.
Oh, no, thank you.
Well, I'll be running along. See you about 2. And don't forget, for charm, poise, and self-confidence, titivate.
Just in time. This way, please.
Thank you.
Just met with a yes lady, and I'll slug him.
Oh, no. No, it's wonderful.
Where to, ma'am?
To the El Sudan.
The Barry Clayton mixed with the hot lips?
Yes, where Barry Clayton makes with hot lips.
Do we pick up somebody else?
No,
You meeting them at the club?
maybe.
It's no go with the El Sudan, lady. If you ain't got a guy inside waiting or one going in with you, you're out.
You mean they won't admit me without an escort?
That's it. A boyfriend or your husband or someone else's husband. They ain't particular. But a guy is a must.
Oh. Turn around the corner and pull up, please.
Yes, lady. I could take you to a joint where you don't have to have a guy to go in with. But you're a cinch to have one coming out.
I'll be right back.
Gee, look at those ducks. What I wouldn't give for one of those fat ones. It's been almost 2 weeks since I've had a solid meal.
You mean you've been hungry for 2 weeks?
Hungry? I've starved. All I do is stand in front of windows like this and drool. And all night long, I have food nightmares. Oh, last night's dream was a pip. I dreamed that it was raining orange sauce, and thousands of roast duck carrying sliced pineapple for umbrellas walked by. And then one big fat duck slipped in the thick French dressing. And there was a pileup. And then one little duck got crippled, and I quickly grabbed at him, sunk my teeth in him, and woke up screaming. I was biting my arm.
Well, how would you like to eat anything your heart desires tonight? Fish, fowl, steak, duck, anything.
Oh, lady, would I?
Good. Then come with me.
With you?
Well, it's not exactly an act of charity. You would be doing me a favor, too. The place I want to go to prohibits unescorted ladies.
And I am to be your escort?
That's right. Nothing more, nothing less.
You're on. This I have got to see.
To the El Sudan, please.
Yes, madam.
The El Sudan, huh? One of Barry Clayton's fans.
What makes you say that?
Well, anybody that goes to the El Sudan goes for that sweet swing and Barry and his horn.
Not as far as I'm concerned. I think swing musicians are crude exhibitionists, and Mr. Clayton heads the list. In my opinion, he's lower than an amoeba.
That is a low. Well, what about the groaners? You know, the fellows that croon the words to the music?
Oh, I imagine they're about the same.
Oh, you do?
Monsieur, Madame, bonsoir.
Keep the change.
Thanks.
This way, lady.
You obviously can't go on calling me lady all evening. My name's Katharine Hilliard, Jr.
A nice name, Katharine. I think I'll make it Kitten. Tell me, Kitten.
Well,
Just why'd you
the El
come?
Sudan is the place to go,
Yes.
isn't it? What would you like to eat? Perhaps you'd like to order now.
Ladies and gentlemen, but may I interrupt you for an important flash? Now, please don't be alarmed. Don't scream, but there's a burglar in the house. The Jimmy Valentine of song, the crown prince of crooners, my pal, Jimmy Hale.
You a grown-up?
Well, the fella has to make a living, Kitten.
But you told me you hadn't eaten in 2 weeks.
I haven't. I'm on a diet. The Bobby Sox like us lean and hungry.
I had troubles before, but now I've got more. As if I didn't have enough on my mind, I had to meet you. As if I didn't have enough on my mind, you fell from the blue. I couldn't sleep at night, and then you came in sight. So now my cares are multiplied by 2. As if I didn't have enough on my mind, I had to meet you. Why did it happen? Adorable you.
Do you mind if I don't wait for an introduction? Jimmy and I are great pals.
You are?
Sure.
I couldn't sleep at night, and then you came in sight. So now my cares are multiplied by 2. As if I didn't have enough on my mind, I had to meet you. Why did it happen? Adorable you.
Your attention, please. Folks, you can't hear too much of a good thing, so how about asking Jimmy to sing another one?
The more I see you, the more I want you. Somehow this feeling just grows and grows. With every sigh, I become more mad about you, more lost without you.
Nice fella, Jimmy. Very obliging.
He didn't look very pleased to me.
Well, usual hard-to-get attitude. Goes big with the customers. But let's talk about us.
Very well. Let's.
Well, to begin with, I think you're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
That's a very nice beginning, Mr. Clayton.
Barry's the name from now on.
Oh.
You know, all the time I've been watching you, my mind has been working like a trip hammer. I've got plans for us. Big plans.
How exciting. But aren't you a bit impetuous? After all, you've just met me.
Yeah. But as soon as I saw you, you rang a bell. You know, I've been in this business a long time, and I can spot a thoroughbred a block away.
Coming from an expert, that's very flattering. Thank you.
Do your eyes bother you?
Oh, no, no, no. I just wear them indoors. And when traveling on crowded trains. They prevent me from stumbling over noisy trumpet players.
Not her.
Yes, Mr. Clayton. Her. The ice water girl in person.
Please. I'll get on my knees, I'll fast 10 days, I'll cut my throat.
And deprive womanhood of your flattering speeches.
Oh, I don't blame you for hating me.
On the contrary, you've done a great deal for me. If I hadn't met you, I might still be Miss America of 1899.
I'll make it all up to you. Every day, every hour on the hour, I'll tell you how lovely you are, how charming, how gorgeous.
That can become monotonous.
If you don't mind, I think I'll move to another table.
Oh, how are you, chum?
Fine.
Jimmy, Mr. Clayton was telling me that you're his best friend.
And you know what a best friend is where a girl is concerned.
Oh, definitely. If you didn't have a best friend, you'd never have to chase a wolf from the door, would you?
Do you mind if we drop this crude character in the side pocket and talk about us?
Excuse me, please. Dr. Clayton, the customers are clamoring for your talent.
I'll be over. Please stay and dance.
Thank you.
And save a couple for me. I know you hate to see me break away, James, old boy, but don't worry too much. I'll be back.
Oh, I'll bear up under it.
Always kidding. It's 10 o'clock, and you're lovely, charming, gorgeous.
Oh, isn't that nice? You know, I turned my back and an amoeba moves in. I gotta hand it to him, though. 20 minutes ago, he was a crude exhibitionist. Just a little bit of howling, and you joined the pack.
How unkind, Mr. Hale.
Oh, when I'm on escort duty, my clients usually call me Jimmy.
Very well, Jimmy. But you're still not very gracious.
Well, I leave the corny lyrics to Barry. He's got the market cornered in that department.
Perhaps we'd better order. Remember, anything your heart desires, any...
Bonsoir, Monsieur Venet.
Bonsoir, André. Est-ce qu'il y a une place particulière que vous désirez?
Par ici, s'il vous plaît.
Si, André. Après vous, ma chérie.
Don't look now, Kitten, but my client's mouth is open.
How rude of me.
Are you expecting?
Who?
Oh, the retired lobby lizard over there.
I've never seen him before in my life. He's a complete stranger.
Oh, sure. My name is Buffalo Bill. Would you like to dance?
No, thank you. I must go. Would you ask for the check?
Wait a minute, we haven't even had...
Please, I've just remembered something very important. Please ask for the check.
It's on the house, professional courtesy.
Thank you very much. You're very kind. Good night.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Clients have to be escorted to their homes. That's rule number 1 of the escort union.
Very well, if you insist.
I insist.
What sort of man are you, Jimmy Hale? Could just any woman have come along and met you the way I did tonight?
Well, not just any woman, Kitten. But I mean, it'd have to be somebody pretty special. Like you.
Oh. Am I special?
You're wonderful. If you don't believe me, just look in your mirror. And somebody else agreed with me this evening, too. That look in Barry Clayton's eye, oh, brother.
You know, I do think he rather liked me.
Liked you. Sure he liked you. But then he likes all girls, especially the ones that go with me.
Are you trying to tell me that Barry Clayton just paid attention to me because I was with you?
Oh, it's a feud of long standing. If Barry knew where to find you, he'd be howling on your doorstep right now. But that isn't going to happen. Because I have no intention of moving over.
Tell me, whatever made you choose the profession of being a groaner?
It's a living just like anything else.
Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Tell me, do you? Do I really mean the whole world to you? Do you get a glimpse of heaven when your lips meet mine? Do nightly dreams of me pursue you? Do I thrill you? Do I thrill you? Do I thrill you when I cuddle closer to you? Was your life a bore before I knew you? Tell me, do I send that certain feeling surging through you? If you love me, tell me that you do.
Anything wrong with that?
No, nothing. Oh, this is where I get out. Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night. Why, Kitten, the very least I can do is take you inside. Wait here a minute, will you?
But not for long.
You know, I know of a nice, quiet little spot in this lobby.
Not tonight. I've got a very busy day tomorrow.
That's right, we have, don't we? Including breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Well, lunch, perhaps. My key, please.
We've moved you into that new suite, 643.
Oh, thank you. Well, good night.
Well, can I walk you as far as the elevator? You know, we can lunch any place you'd like tomorrow. After all, you can't walk out on a cold and hungry man.
You know, I'll never forgive you for that.
Miss Hilliard?
Yes. Thank you.
Oh. Well, that's okay, Miss Hilliard. Next time.
Thank you. Hello? Oh, hello, Jimmy. Yes, they're beautiful, thank you. Lunch, but...
Oh, Kitten, be reasonable. After all, you've got to eat sometime, somewhere, and, well, it might as well be with me.
I may as well tell you, I'm engaged. Yes, engaged to be married.
Well, I'd be surprised if you weren't. But that's no reason to starve. After all, don't engaged women eat? I can only understand one thing.
Very well. Just this once. 12:30. I'll be at Herbert Benham's office. Yes, the conductor. Goodbye. What? Oh, I see. Barry Clayton hasn't cornered all the market. Goodbye.
Sorry I'm late. By Rimsky-Korsakov's beard. Miss Hilliard, I presume?
For charm, poise, self-confidence, titivate. And that's precisely what I did.
Miraculous. I had a hunch you were up to this when you didn't return yesterday afternoon.
Oh, Herbert, it was wonderful. I had the time of my life shopping. And after that, I went into a beauty parlor for 2 hours. And then I went hunting. First, I made him pay me the most extravagant compliments. And then I made him squirm and then crawl. Oh, it was delicious.
No doubt. But who squirmed and crawled?
That trumpet player. Oh, Herbert, I'm indebted to you for life. It's done more for me than helped me regain my confidence. It's given me a
new lease on life is the line, I believe.
Yes. And now I can go on with my work with more enthusiasm and spirit than I ever had. Brahms, Beethoven, Mozart. I'm ready whenever you are.
I trust this newfound energy won't prove to be a boomerang. Don't you think we'd better ease into it after we've refreshed ourselves with, say, a little cocktail and lunch?
Splendid.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, I'd almost forgotten. I already have a luncheon date. Oh, my goodness, what time is it?
12:15.
Oh, good. He's not coming until 12:30.
And after he got through squirming and crawling, he invited you to lunch, eh?
Not he, another man. I met him in front of a delicatessen.
My, you did have a triumphant evening.
It sounds much worse than it is. I promised to go just this once. After all, I do have to eat someplace, sometime, and it might as well be with Jimmy.
Jimmy?
Yes, he's a singer, Jimmy Hale. Of course, you wouldn't know him. He isn't from our world, so to speak.
Oh, I know him very well, and you'd be surprised how easily you can step out of our planet onto his. Excuse me. Hello?
Hello, is Kitten there? Is Miss Hilliard there?
Oh, just a moment. It's for you. Kitten?
Hello. Oh, hello. Meet you in front of Mindy's restaurant? Well, perhaps you're busy. Let's not... All right. I leave here right now. Goodbye. He insists on calling me Kitten.
Well, I don't quite see the resemblance, and I hardly think it'll have the wholehearted approval of Mrs. Crackleton and your board. But
They must never know, especially Ralph. It would be disastrous.
Then I have you in my clutches, and the first tribute I'll exact is that you go out and have fun.
Oh, thank you, Herbert. I'll be back promptly at 2.
Kitten.
Hiya, Barry. This is the 9th joint we've been in. When do we put the legs under the table?
Ah, relax.
Why couldn't you have lunch in bed where nothing could happen to you, huh?
Our search is over.
Oh, Barry, I finished that song you like so much.
Swell, be with you in a minute. Well, fancy finding you here.
Hello. Jimmy, why didn't you tell me Mr. Clayton was joining us?
Oh, I'm an optimist. I like to look at the brighter side.
I couldn't sleep last night. I couldn't eat a bite of breakfast.
Well, now, isn't that a shame? Why don't we call a waiter and get you a nice little table in the corner someplace so you can get some sleep?
I'm Jay Dillon, in case anybody cared.
Hello.
How do you do?
The boys forgot to introduce me. They're so wrapped up in each other. You know, like Damon and Runyon.
But you are good friends, aren't you?
Oh, I can hardly bear to have Jimmy out of my sight when he's with you, Miss... Isn't that ridiculous? I can't recall.
Hilliard. Just Katharine Hilliard, Jr.
Now you can recall.
Hi, Dilly.
Hi, Earl. How's the column?
Great. You got anything for me?
Say, I sure have. Good thing you bumped into me. Did you know that Barry and the boys broke every record in Freeport last weekend?
Yeah. Forget about Freeport. Who's the babe with Barry?
Oh, her? I don't know. Some out-of-town weenie that's got a crush on the maestro.
Uh-huh. What's Jimmy Hale in with it for?
Oh, you know. She's using him for kind of a bait. She came into the club with Hale and went hook, line, and sinker for the horn.
Well, it sounds like an item.
Say, Dilly, tell your maestro I'm leaving in a minute and I'm taking the song with me.
All right. See you later, Earl.
Okay.
Say, boss, Carter Holden is patiently waiting over at the piano for you. Now, don't offend him. Remember, he's the only guy that calls you maestro.
Excuse me.
Certainly.
Give me a trumpet, Dilly.
Right.
Thank you.
got the edge on him this time. I know this song. Excuse me.
I didn't mean a word I said, and if I hurt you, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lose my head, and if I made you cry, I'm sorry. It was just another foolish quarrel. Won't you end it with a kiss? And just remember this. Except the time I said I love you, I didn't mean a word I said. I didn't mean a word I said.
Where's Miss Hilliard? You know, the lady that was sitting there.
She left. Did you leave any message for me?
No message. I'll see you later.
Wait a minute, Jimmy. Here's your chance to really square yourself with me for life. You give me your phone number, and I'll plug your tunes. I'll appear on your radio program.
Yeah, that's swell.
Hey, I'm on the level. I meant it when I said I couldn't eat or sleep, and I've been chasing around like a madman all morning. I tell you, I got it bad.
Well, Harry Carey might be a way out.
Listen, you lug, I know you. To you, she's just another date.
I suppose you're going to take her home to meet the family.
Yeah, and then to the preacher.
Say, you've really got it bad, haven't you?
Listen, Jimmy, for the first time in my life, this is really it.
Not just another one of those things.
What does a guy have to do to prove it to you?
All right, but let me handle it. I'll send you and I'll talk to her.
You will?
On our honeymoon. I'll see you, chum.
Hey, Dilly. Follow Jimmy Hale and find out where Miss Hilliard lives.
Oh, Maestro, are these chases really worth the sweat, toil, and
Come
tears?
on, get going.
As if I didn't have enough on my mind, I had to meet you. As if I didn't have enough on my mind, you fell from the blue. I couldn't sleep at night, and then you came in sight, so now my cares are multiplied by 2.
Hello. If it's Miss Hilliard you're inquiring after, she's gone out. Yes, Mr. Hale. I'll give her the message when she gets back. Goodbye.
Adorable you. I couldn't sleep a wink at night, and then you came inside, so now my cares are multiplied by 2. As if I didn't have enough on my mind.
And could it be a taxi you'll be wanting, ma'am? Oh, it's too nice a night for a taxi anyway. Let's walk. I know a wonderful restaurant right around the corner.
Jimmy.
Oh, I know. You're head over heels in love and engaged to be married. But, Kitten, that's no reason to run out on a luncheon date or to refuse making it up by not having dinner. Incidentally, why did you run out on me at Mindy's?
I should never have consented to go in the first place.
Yeah, but you did. And I've got enough ego in me to think that you wanted to be there or you wouldn't have been there.
You're right. I enjoyed receiving your flowers, and I liked being with you, but it must stop now.
All right. But let's call it all off over a nice dinner,
But I've already had dinner.
Well, let's walk.
But
Couldn't be that you're afraid.
Afraid? Such conceit, such ego. I'm engaged. You must understand that. And the man I'm going to marry is also associated with me at the school. Our lives are inseparably bound together.
How does Barry Clayton fit in this picture?
He doesn't.
You know, Kitten, I like you even when you're lying.
Oh, you're exasperating.
And you're very attractive. Anyway, let's take a walk, and I promise to behave myself in my most professional manner. Not for a moment will I forget that you're head over heels in love and engaged to another fella.
Oh, Jimmy.
But you will go.
All right. But just a short walk.
And now you're purring, Kitten.
Katharine.
All right. Kitten. Beautiful moon, isn't it? Look out for it, Kitten. Don't gaze at those stars that shine so brightly. Just give them the brush off. You know, the once-over lightly. And don't let your heart listen to the things they're trying to tell you. Don't buy that song about romance they're trying to sell you, 'cause it's moonlight propaganda, springtime ballyhoo. It's sugar-coated danger, that jive they're sending through. It starts your heart a-jumping, there's nothing you can do. Moonlight propaganda, and it ain't good for you. When you hear birds singing and there ain't no birds, look out, my friend, that's bad. When a church bell's ringing and there ain't no church, you better run like mad, 'cause it's moonlight propaganda. It's murder from the skies. It gets into your dreams, and before you realize, you're walking around with moonlight in your eyes.
That jive they're sending through
Starts your heart a-jumping, nothing you can do, 'cause it's moonlight propaganda.
and it ain't good for you. When you hear birds singing and there ain't no birds, look out, my friends, that's bad. When church bells ringing and there ain't no church, son, you better run like mad.
'Cause it's moonlight propaganda, and before you realize, you're walking around with moonlight in your eyes. It's sugar-coated danger, that jive they're sending through. It makes you jump like crazy, there's nothing you can do. 'Cause it's moonlight propaganda, and it ain't good for you. It starts you spinning daydreams, the kind that might come true. It's moonlight propaganda, and it ain't good for you. I'm kind of dizzy too, it's moonlight propaganda.
church. You better run like mad.
Kitten, don't you realize when you hear birds singing and there ain't no birds, look out, my friend, that's bad. When a church bell's ringing and there ain't no church, you better run like mad. It's moonlight propaganda. You'll be walking around with moonlight in your Do you love me? Tell me, do you? Do I really mean the whole world to you? Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Tell me, do you? Do I really mean?
Good morning, Miss Hilliard. These are for you.
Oh, will you take them right in, please?
We were told to give you a message. It's kind of embarrassing, but...
Yes, what is it, please?
You're lovely, you're charming, you're gorgeous.
It's true.
I love you, I love you.
I love you. Guess who?
The man said, if you can't guess, to look at this. Can you guess, ma'am?
Yes.
We had to do it, Miss Hilliard.
Oh, that's all right. Now you can take them all back and give them to your girlfriends or take them to the hospital.
This, too?
Yes, everything. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Miss Hilliard. We tried to tell Mr. Clayton this was a little corny.
But Ralph. Yes, of course, Ralph, but...
I tell you, Herbert, I have good cause for concern. I've had no word from Katharine since she left. Last night, I called her every 20 minutes. At 3 o'clock this morning, I gave up.
But I assure you, you've nothing to worry about. She's been terribly busy every minute. Yes, even last night. Yes, of course I was with her. We went up to Connecticut, to Malinsky's farm. A musicale. The place was just bursting with composers. Well, you know how it is. Everyone hoping that his work will be represented at your festival. We didn't get back till after 4. Well, she should be back any moment, and I'll have her sit right down and write you a nice, long letter.
Perhaps you'd better phone. These calls run up, you know, but under the circumstances, I think it advisable that she phone.
Oh, very well, Ralph. Okay. Goodbye.
Good morning, Herbert.
Good afternoon, Miss Hilliard.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You may not be aware of the fact, but up till 4 o'clock this morning, you and I were listening to composers at Malinsky's farm in Connecticut. Also, I just told your fiancé, Mr. Wainwright, on the telephone not 2 minutes ago. My blood pressure is beginning to tell me that I may have unleashed the elements when I told you to titivate.
You unleashed more than that, Herbert. I'm in love, terribly in love.
Well, my dear Juliet, you better get on that telephone and tell that to your raving Romeo.
I'm going to tonight, on a little bridge near the zoo in Central Park.
What?
Yes, Madison, you may think me, Herbert. I'm going to tell Jimmy Hale that I love him and that I'm going to marry him.
I knew it. I knew it 1 minute after I told you to titivate. My blood pressure has never failed to warn me of impending calamity. And there's Ralph, who thinks of me as his friend.
Pardon me, Mr. Benham. There are 4 messenger boys here to see you, Miss Hilliard. They won't leave the message. They insist upon seeing you.
Have them come in. I have a grave suspicion who sent them.
I'm sorry, Miss Hilliard, but we just had...
Yes, I know, but go ahead and get it over with.
You're lovely.
You're charming. You're gorgeous.
It's true. I love you.
I love you. I love you.
Guess who?
Thank you. Now take them back and keep them, or give them away, or do anything with them.
Sorry, ma'am. During the war, this sort of thing wasn't allowed. And I never thought I'd see the day that I'd be wishing for another war. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
You know, you puzzle me more and more. I should think you'd be delighted. It's not to my taste, but a whirlwind courtship has its points.
But they're not from Jimmy. They're from the other man.
The other man? The trumpet player?
Yes, his name is Barry Clayton.
Not the Barry Clayton.
Do you know him?
Yes, he lives in my hotel. I know him to say hello.
This morning it was 4 singing bellboys, and now he's evidently found out that I'm working here with you.
Yes, you are in a bit of a mess. A newfound love, an ex-sweetheart who doesn't know he's an ex, and a persistent suitor.
Herbert, what shall I do?
Well, obviously, the green light must be given to Jimmy, the red to Ralph, and as for our dear ambitious Barry...
He's not so easily put off.
Well, why don't you just phone him and simply tell him the truth?
That's a good idea. May I?
Sure. Get me Barry Clayton at my hotel, will you? He's what? Oh, he's calling on the other line.
Hello. Hello, Barry. Yes, this is she. Yes. Yes, Barry. Yes, the boys did very well. No, I can't go out to lunch. But Barry, I have something to tell you. Yes, it's very serious. But, very well. I'll meet you at my hotel at 5 o'clock. Yes, yes. Goodbye. He goes on like a torrent. He just doesn't give me a chance to speak. I don't know how to cope with his type of man.
Well, anyway, Barry will be disposed of by 5:30, but that still leaves us with Ralph to be accounted for.
I'll go home and tell him tomorrow.
Very well. Let's start with lunch.
That's a wonderful idea. Oh, I forgot. I've had lunch.
Yeah, come to think of it, so have I.
Pardonnez-moi, mademoiselle.
Oh, you must have the wrong room.
This is Mademoiselle Hilliard, no?
Yes,
Then please, Alfred, do not keep Mademoiselle waiting.
I didn't order anything.
But I did. Hello, Katharine. Here you are, boys. Thank you very much. Merci.
Barry, you shouldn't have done this.
Why, I've just begun. This is just a slight sample of what's to come. And there's something I must tell you. You're lovely, you're charming, and you're gorgeous. Well, how about a famous Clayton caviar canopy?
Barry, I appreciate everything you've done,
You
but...
haven't seen anything yet. Wait till the man from Cartier's gets here.
A man from Cartier's, but you must stop him.
Well, it's too late, baby. I've already bought it.
Bought what?
Now, that would be giving away the surprise. But I'll give you a hint. It's in a gold setting with rubies, as big as a hunk of ice, and has a deep blue color. Guess what?
Oh, this is awful.
Honey, the sky's the limit. When I get through, you'll be so decked out in furs and jewels, everybody will say, there goes Barry Clayton's beautiful wife.
Oh.
That must be the man from Cartier.
No, don't go. It's somebody else.
Well, why so worried, honey?
She mustn't find you here. You must go.
Who mustn't find me here?
A man, a friend of mine. He doesn't know what's happened to me. I mean about us. I've got to tell him myself. You must go. Please understand.
Sure. Anything you want to do is okay with me.
Oh, no, not that way. In there. Please, just a minute.
Well, how long will he be here?
I don't know. Through that window, there's a fire escape. Please hurry.
Well, what about us?
Later.
Tell you what you do. Meet me at Carter Holden's penthouse here in the hotel. He's giving a jam session.
All right.
And don't be scared, honey. You tell that lug, whoever he is, that no one's going to push my future wife around.
Yes, please go. Oh, it's you.
Yes, a little wilted, but recognizable. Whatever took you so long?
I nearly had a fit. I thought you were Ralph.
You know he's coming?
Yes, he sent me a wire, and here I was, trapped with Barry Clayton.
Well, where's he?
I was frantic. I didn't know what to do. Oh, he's gone.
Good heavens, Katharine, you didn't push him out of the window.
No, he went down the fire escape.
Oh. Well, Ralph's arrived. He phoned you at the office thinking you might still be there. I tell you, my dear, he's in an ugly mood. I thought my being here might soften the shock.
Yes, thank you, Herbert.
You're still certain you want to go through with this?
I've never been more certain of anything.
Right. Well, when he arrives, you'll go through into the bedroom, and I'll break it to him as gently as possible. Oh, my dear, this'll never do. Caviar and champagne, why, it'll infuriate Ralph. There he is now. Quick, into the bedroom. I'll tell him this was my idea. Now, courage. Why, Ralph, hello. I thought I'd drop over and welcome you. How are you, old man?
I'm very well, thank you.
Oh, come in, come in. Here, let me take these. It's been too long, Ralph, since I've seen you.
Where's Katharine?
Katharine? Oh, she's in the bedroom. It's been a very muggy day, you know. She's cleaning up a bit. Sit down, won't you? Have a snack?
No, thank you.
Well, what about a glass of wine?
I don't drink.
Well, do you mind if I have a little? I'm parched.
Of course not. Go ahead.
You know, Ralph, I had a special reason for coming here today.
You've already explained that.
I mean, apart from wanting to welcome you.
Yes?
Ralph, you and I are old friends, college friends, and all that. One might go so far as to say we've been continually associated in our work.
What are you driving at, Herbert?
Well, I'll tell you. You see, in a measure, I feel responsible and guilty. What I'm trying to say is that, you know, since Katharine came to New York, we've worked closely together, and...
I'm sorry, Herbert, but I don't follow you.
You don't? Well, that's right, that's right. You've always been a straightforward sort of fellow. It is infantile for me to beat about the bush. Ralph, Katharine's in love with another man.
What?
Yes, from a chance acquaintance, they drifted unwittingly into love. I lied to you last night about her being up at Malinsky's farm. She wasn't. She was with this other man.
Back at school, Herbert, you were known for your practical jokes. If this is your idea of another...
Oh, no. Believe me, I don't relish this role I have to play. I'm dead serious.
I see. And so you decided to have a man-to-man sort of talk with me. Direct, straightforward, and very adult. Sorry, Ralph, old man. I hope you'll understand, but I've taken your fiancé away.
Oh, no. Not I. Somebody else.
You're beautiful, you're wonderful, you're lovely. B. B for Benham.
Now, look,
Or is it B for Benedict Arnold?
Oh, my goodness. Are you all right, Herbert? What happened?
I omitted to clear up one small point. The name of your newfound love. He thought I was the lucky dog.
Oh, Herbert, I am sorry. You have been a darling, though. But for you, I might have married that...
Blue-nosed, pompous sack of corn starch.
Oh, that must be Jimmy.
Well, that's all I need is for him to find me here. Well, goodbye, Kitten.
Thanks, Herbert. Thank you so much for everything.
Bless you. I'm going out to have a lock put on my mouth.
Hello? Oh, hello, Jimmy. Yes, for dinner, but not the theater. Carter Holden's having a jam session, and I promised Barry Clayton I'd be there. I don't want to go, but I must. Please, Jimmy, just this once. I want you to take me. As a matter of fact, it will help me a great deal if you're there. You will? Oh, thank you. Yes, I'll meet you downstairs in the lobby in 20 minutes. Goodbye.
Jimmy.
Fine, Brooksy. How
Glad
are you?
to see you.
Good to see you.
Hi, Jimmy.
Hello, Earl. How's everything?
Fine.
Oh, Miss Hilliard, Mr. Williams.
How do you do?
Well, I didn't expect to see you here tonight, Jimmy.
Oh, it was Miss Hilliard's idea. You know, that trumpet makes my ears burn.
Well, I always knew you were a good sport, and after all, it was just a gag, no harm meant, as long as I spelt your name right.
I don't get it.
Well, I want you to know there was nothing personal in it, Jimmy. Well, bye. I'm glad to meet you. See you later.
What was all that about?
I don't know, but it sounds like dirt to me. Wait right here a minute, will you, Kitten? I'll be right back.
Anything important?
I think you'd know more about that than I would.
If you notice Jimmy Hale's face turning red, it's because a beautiful lady from out of town was crazy to meet Barry Clayton. So she used Jimmy as a shill at the El Sudan to get an introduction to the horn. But what Jimmy hasn't caught on to yet is that now the lady has the horn, all that's left for Jimmy is the air. Those in on the know are very, very amused. Jimmy, this is going to be very difficult to explain.
Yes, I imagine it is.
But you can't believe I would do anything as mean and contemptible as that. Jimmy, it isn't true. I did have a reason for wanting to meet Barry at the El Sudan.
And you used me as a shill, huh?
Oh, Jimmy, you're wrong. I didn't even know who you were then. You were just a man I picked up.
Yes, that seems quite obvious.
Oh, you know I didn't mean it that way. I met Barry once before, and he ridiculed me, and... Well, I suppose I have been vain and silly, but you don't know.
Oh, what I know is enough. It all adds up, every little trick. Sitting with your back toward him that night so that he'd see that you were with me.
Jimmy, that isn't the way it is.
Well, how are you, chum? Glad to see you. There's a new sign up. I took an option on the lady, and she said yes.
Barry.
Well, that's great, pal. Just what Kitten and I were talking about. I'm tickled to death. She knew what she wanted, and she knew how to get it. Why don't you jam a couple of choruses of the Wedding March? You might as well double-cross Mendelssohn, too.
That's a splendid suggestion, Mr. Hale. Your sympathy and understanding are overwhelming. Perhaps you'd like to join the joyful chorus. Come on, boys, let's swing it.
Jimmy, what'd you say that dame's name was at the piano?
Katharine Hilliard for the time being. Yeah, and I'm still a chump and a shill. You can put that in your column, pal, and this on your chin.
What columnist was hit last night at Carter Holden's jam session? Me. Hilliard. Katharine Hilliard, School for Music. No kidding. Hey, grab some pictures of that gal at the piano. Right away, hurry up.
repercussions followed swiftly from Miss Katharine Hilliard's participation in a jam session with Barry Clayton and his orchestra, which included Hot Lips Harrigan, 8 to the bar Harper, and Jelly Roll Fink at his voodoo drums. The elders of the canonized Hilliard School, needless to say, are aghast at their dean's unprecedented behavior. In an exclusive interview, Mrs. Joshua Frederick Crackleton, chairman of the Board of Trustees, revealed, quote, Miss Hilliard has been removed as dean. Mr. Ralph Wainwright will serve in that capacity until after the spring festival. A final decision as to Miss Hilliard's status will be determined then. You may be sure that the board will take drastic action to correct the damage done by this unfortunate happening. Unquote.
If it weren't for you, you hot-headed character.
Oh, I suppose I invited her to Carter Holden's.
Gentlemen, no good will come of all this. We're all to blame. Yes, if you're both guilty, then so am I. It was I who persuaded Katharine to burst her Hilliard School cocoon and emerge as a butterfly. You two gave her wings. Now, it matters little to me in whose garden she'll finally light, but we must, if possible, prevent her from being permanently kicked out of the school. And if I know my Mrs. Crackleton, that's precisely what she means by drastic action.
So what can we do? They won't even let Jimmy and me in through the front door.
Why don't we go in through the back door?
Very funny.
I suppose that's too simple for you to understand. Look, Herbert, how far are you prepared to go to help Kitten?
Just this side of murder.
Just this side of murder, huh? Well, this is my idea.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, all radical changes in art are born of inspiration and very often of strife. So in music, there sometimes arises a difference of opinion. You've just heard an augmented orchestra play a composition in the tradition of the classics conducted by your humble servant. We will now offer for your approval and judgment a composition in the tradition of modern swing, conducted by that eminent maestro, Barry Clayton.
You tell me where Miss Hilliard is sitting?
Miss Hilliard? She isn't here. That darn Mrs. Crackleton wouldn't let her come. She's in her office packing her things, getting ready to leave.
She is? Thanks, pal. That's all I wanted to know.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And now may I present my good friend, the popular songster of the airwaves, Jimmy Hale.
Ever since that certain night when we first danced and dined out, I've been wondering how I stand, and now I've simply got to find out. I'm prepared to hear the worst, so speak your mind out. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Tell me, do you? Do I really mean the whole world glimpse of heaven when your lips meet mine. Do nightly dreams of me pursue you? Do I thrill you, do I thrill you, do I thrill you when I cuddle closer to you? Was your life a bore before I knew you? Tell me, do I send that certain feeling surging through you? If you love me, tell me that you do.
Well, this has created quite a furor.
I've never heard anything like it.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure that your response will convince anyone present that the Dean of the Hilliard School of Music, Miss Katharine Hilliard, ain't done no wrong.
Hey, Maestro! Maestro! It's a washout of flop. She ain't even here.
What are you talking about?
Miss Hilliard, she wasn't allowed to come. She's in her office packing, getting ready to leave.
Hey, what do we do?
Come on.
Here you are, pal. I guess she's waiting for you.
Thanks, John. We'll see you around sometime.
Oh, no, I think I'll wait. I'd like to wish Kitten good luck, too.
Okay.
What's the matter with you?
Nothing.
Hey, boss.
Ah, shut up.
Remember that cute little trick who wrote you the fan letter? The one who was so anxious to meet you. Well, she's here. She came over and introduced
Look,
herself.
I don't want any part of her. I'm through with women for life.
Oh, now, don't be hasty, boss. You might change your mind. Take a look.
Hello.